For those of you who may not know, I'm assuming everybody in this audience does know, the IPCC stands for the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, and it is a body jointly organized by the World Meteorological Organization and the United Nations Environment Programme. And for the last 20 years, it has been producing a series of assessment reports on the state of science and knowledge on climate change, and is in the process right now of producing the 5th assessment report. I'll say a few words about the 5th assessment report, and then I'll introduce the speakers. The 5th assessment report is due out in 2014. These assessment reports are very cumbersome, very long processes involving hundreds of scientists from all over the world. They have 3 working groups and 3 volumes of reports. The first working group is on the science of climate change. The second working group is on impacts, vulnerability, and adaptation, which is where we fit. And the third working group is on responses. In the 5th assessment report, the issue or topic of adaptation has been given a very much higher prominence than any of the previous assessment reports. And this can be seen in, firstly, the number of chapters that have been allocated to adaptation. There are 4 chapters in Working Group 2 on adaptation, chapters 14, 15, 16, and 17. I'll give you a rough title for each of them to give you an idea of what they contain. Chapter 14, of which I am one of the convening lead authors, is on the planning of adaptation. Chapter 15 is on implementing adaptation. Chapter 16, which Mazharul Alam Babu is a lead author in, is roughly on the limits to adaptation. And chapter 17 is on the economics of adaptation. And if you're interested in seeing the outlines of the chapters, they are in the IPCC website, and you can download them from there and have a look at them. You can also see the list of names of the convening lead authors and lead authors of each of the chapters in case you want to get in touch with any of them.
I'm here representing Chapter 24 Asia, and I will just touch on how the members here can participate in the 5th assessment report. I would like to share some challenges that we face with you, and we hope that with this outreach session, we can address some of these issues. I hear there are 3 coordinating lead authors for this chapter. There's myself from Malaysia, Erdalin from China, and Yasuaki Hijioka, my colleague from Japan, and I represent the 3 of them in making this pitch here for peer-reviewed literature from the crowd. May I have the next slide, please? So essentially, like Dr. Salim mentioned, the content of the report at this point is confidential. It has not been approved, but there is a plenary approved outline, and this is the outline for the regional aspects, and every chapter has to address these aspects, and Asia is certainly addressing the aspects, and the drafts are confidential till its launch in March 2014. And in our chapter, we divide it into sub-regions and sub-regions as requested by the plenary to taking into account the availability of regional information.
First of all, thank you, Salim and Joy, mentioning about the different dates and also the different stages of the chapters. That applies for all the chapters that we are working on. Let me just begin by saying that who we are working in the chapter. We have the 3 coordinating lead authors for the chapter 16, and the title of the chapter is Adaptation Opportunities, Constraints, and Limits. The lead authors the coordinating lead authors are the Richard Klein from Sweden, Guy F. Migle from South Africa, Benjamin M. L. Peterson from USA. And we have the 6 lead authors, is myself, then Frans Breckholt from Netherlands, the Christine Doe from USA, Yuli from China, Elena from Romania, and Rebecca Shaw from USA. So this is the team working to produce this Chapter 16 on adaptation, opportunities, constraints, and the limits. In addition to the guidelines, the outlines that Joy mentioned, we have also received the additional bullet points from the government who has approved this outline. For our chapter, we have not received the outline for the other chapter because we had the general outline that is going to be used by all the chapters and then additional bullet points given to the specific chapters.